Morning, grade 10s. I'm going to do the rest of the key to the review that you've already done, and then you're going to do a review assignment on your own. It's due Wednesday. It'll go live around 8 this morning, which is in about a half an hour. The first part of it is multiple choice. You'll do that like a quiz on Google. The second part, I'm just going to email you out copies of your book. Of course, you've already got them in your book. You can just do the work in your book and take a picture of it and assign it and upload it back to me. Unless you've got a tablet or something, then you can write on the PDFs and upload them back to me if you've got a tablet and a pen like I have. Okay? Whatever works for you. When we get to it, you're going to see that the page numbers are really different because the key is from an old version of this book that I used. So just ignore the page numbers on my key and just follow along in your book. Okay, let's do this thing. All right, so this is the first page of the review, which is page 155, I think. 165 or 150. I can't remember, but it's the first page of your book. So there is the first one that we had. I did that one for you. These are the rest of the answers. I'll highlight them in yellow. There you go. Check your own work. They all would have been worth 1 each if I'd been marking. Here's the rest of these answers, all highlighted in yellow, just y2 minus y1. Remember, this I'm going to highlight blue. If you get a fraction that you can simplify, you should be simplifying it. There's the next two yellow ones. Sorry, I'll hold for a second there. You can check all these now. Remember, when you get to these ones, you got to isolate y. So I'll quickly do that. 9x plus 8 equals 2y, because I moved the y over there, so I moved the 8 over there. Then, of course, I had to divide everything by 2 to isolate y. 9 halves x plus 4 equaled y. So there is my slope. Over here, same thing. 5y equals negative 7x minus 25. Divide that by 5. Nothing else matters because I only cared about the slope. There's these two answers. This is just what the score would have been, so let me erase those because that's a little confusing. There's the line. There's the line. There's the line. There's the line. Remember, again, when you have them like this, the easiest thing to do is to put it into slope-intercept form. 6x minus 20 equaled 5y. Divide that by 5. 6 over 5x minus 4 equals y. So I went down to minus 4 and then I did my slope. Up 6 over 5. So you can check your work there. Remember, the 2's are just what they would have been out of. Remember, all you're doing is isolating y. 2x minus 15 equals 5y. So I have the y over here and it's isolated. 2/5 x minus 3 equals y. Y equals negative x minus 1. X plus 1 equals y. 2y equals negative 1x plus 4. Divide both sides by 2. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. And then you graph. All right, find the x and y intercepts. You have a choice, of course. X comma 0, 0 comma y. You can sub them in, or you can use slope-intercept form. 2x plus 5 times 0 minus 8 equals 0. 2x minus 8 equals 0. 2x equals 8. X equals 4. Okay, and then you do the y. 2 times 0 plus 5y minus 8 equals 0. 5y equals 8. Y equals 8/5. And then when you graph it, you have a choice, of course. I'll do 2 lines. The red one will be where x is 1, 2, 3, 4. And y is 8/5, which is 1 3/5. So 1 and just a little bit past half. You could draw it that way. Or, and I'll do this one in green, you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 1. So that's 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5, 6, 7, 8/5. But you can't keep that scale over here on x because you'd go off the graph. So on the x-axis, 1 square is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could draw it that way too. Both of them are acceptable. And then here, you have 2 choices again. You can do it with a graph, which would look like this. Excuse me. I have 1 point at negative 2, negative 3, negative 1, negative 2. I got a point there. And I know my other point is at somewhere on that line, because that line is where x is 2. And I know I got to go up 6. Right here I am at negative 2. So I go up negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go over 5. Negative 1, 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. So that point right there has to be 2, 4. Or, of course, you can do it with the slope formula. 6 over 5 equals negative 2 minus y over negative 3 minus 2. 6 over 5 equals negative 2 minus y over negative 5. Negative 30 equals negative 10 minus 5y. Bring that over. Negative 20 equals negative 5y, so y equals 4. Either way, 2 perpendicular lines intersect on the x-axis. I set this up for you. You can use the graph if you need to, but you really don't need to. Line 1, 3x minus 6y equals 12. They intersect on the x-axis, so that means they share an x intercept. So line 1, 3x minus 6 times 0 equals 12. 3x equals 4, x equals 12. So x equals 4. So that is the x-intercept of line 1. Line 1 is also perpendicular to line 2. So if I deal with line 1 again, negative 6y equals negative 3x plus 12, y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Perpendicular means line 2 has a reciprocal slope. So line 2 is y equals negative 2x plus b. We don't know the y-intercept, but we do know the x-intercept. The x-intercept is 4, so I can go ahead and plug in 0 equals negative 2 times 4 plus b. Negative 8 plus b equals 0, so b equals 8. So my other line right there, b equals 8, y equals negative 2x plus 8. And that is the equation of the other line. If I wanted to do it on the graph, I would go to right here, positive 2, and do the slope of 1/2, up 1, where was I here? Oh, up 1, 2, at a slope of 1/2, up 1 over 2. Oh, sorry, this is slope of negative 1/2. Oh, no, I was right. But this slope is negative 2. There we go. Sorry, so the red one is down at negative 2 and up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. There's my x-intercept. And I know the other one has to be through here because they share an x-axis or an x-intercept. So I got to go here, but my slope is negative 2, so that's up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And that gets me my y-intercept. If they're parallel, they have the same slope. So for A, which I will do in blue, negative 8 minus 7 over negative 3 minus 2 would have to equal, because they're parallel, that one, which I'll do in green, A minus 2 over 1 minus 0. And then you just do the math. Negative 15 over negative 5 equals A minus 2 over 1. Negative 15 equals negative 5A plus 10. Bring that 10 over there. Negative 25 equals negative 5A. A equals positive 5. And then if they're perpendicular, well, we already know that AB was negative 15 over negative 5. This one has to reciprocate and change signs. So it was A minus 2 over 1. Well, now it's going to be negative 1 over A minus 2. Then I just cross multiply again, which gets me negative 15A plus 30 equals 5. Negative 15A equals negative 25. A equals 5 over 3 once I simplify. And this last question, first thing I want you to do is graph it. So I remember these signs have to be opposite. So I go to negative 1, 2, 3 and positive 1, 2, 3, 4. And the slope was negative 3/4, so down 1, 2, 3, and right 1, 2, 3, 4. And up 1, 2, 3, and left 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I just put them into general, standard, and slope-intercept form. I always like to do general form first, which means get rid of all the brackets and all the fractions. So y minus 4 equals -3/4 x plus 3. I have to get rid of the fraction, which means I'm going to multiply this side by 4. But I also have to get rid of the negative, so I'm going to multiply by -4, which means I multiply this side by -4. So I now have -4y plus 16 equals -3, because I'm only getting rid of the 4 and the -3x plus 3. Now I get rid of the brackets. -4y plus 16 x plus 9. Then I just put it all together. X has to be positive. It already is, so x isn't going to move. So 0 equals 3x plus 4y, then that comes over there, minus 7. That is general form. Standard form is, of course, his ugly cousin. I just move the 7. 7 equals 3x plus 4y. And slope-intercept form is just isolate y. So I have 7 equals 3x plus 4y. Y is positive, so I'm not going to move them. -3x plus 7 equals 4y. Divide everything by 4. -3/4 x plus 7/4 equals y. And that's done. And I think that's it. All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You will do that work for me. It is due Wednesday. Google will mark it. The multiple choice part, I will, just like I did with the last assignment, I'll send you back feedback with what you got on each question, and then I'll post a video of the keys so you can decide how much you want to put into checking it out. Okay? Stay together, stay healthy, stay strong.